In the days of ancient kings, an entire army vanished without trace. This is the mystery of the desert that swallowed the proud. Thousands of battle-hardened warriors marched deep into the merciless desert under the blazing sun. General Eliab led them forward, eyes fixed on conquest and glory, but the sands were already awake and hungry. The desert wind that had howled for days suddenly died. An unnatural, suffocating silence gripped the dunes. Every soldier felt eyes upon them that were not human. Scout Ezer rode ahead to mark the path. One moment, his silhouette was clear on the dune. The next moment, he was simply gone. Only hoof prints that ended in nothing. Fear spread like poison through the host. Men whispered of demons and curses. General Eliab roared for silence, but the desert had already tasted blood. 2 more scouts disappeared before noon. No screams, no struggle, just empty footprints ending in smooth sand. The army marched faster. Even at brightest noon, shadows moved where none should. Soldiers swore they saw figures beckoning from dune crests. An entire patrol of 12 men sent to scout ahead vanished without trace. Their torches were found still burning in the sand. 3 men tried to flee back the way they came. The dunes shifted. Their screams were swallowed before they traveled far. A lone robed figure appeared on the highest dune. His eyes burned with holy fire. The army stopped as one. The prophet warned of judgment for innocent blood spilled. General Eliab laughed and ordered the march to continue. Entire squads began disappearing at once. 20 men, one moment. Empty sand, the next. Panic took root. Men accused each other of witchcraft. Fights broke out as trust evaporated under the burning sun. When darkness fell, the vanishings grew bolder. Men disappeared from within the circled camp. The prophet appeared again at midnight. The desert is God's instrument of justice, he declared. Few listened. By dawn, over half the mighty host had vanished into the dunes. The survivors marched on broken spirits. Survivors fell to their knees, begging for mercy. Their prayers rose into empty sky and returned unanswered. The desert remained silent. A distant wall of sand appeared on the horizon. The prophet warned it carried the souls of the vanished. Still, they marched. Fear turned brother against brother. 2 soldiers killed a comrade they accused of summoning the curse. All the horses disappeared overnight. Saddles and bridles lay neatly in the sand as if the animals had simply melted away. The prophet stood before the remnants and pleaded one last time. His voice echoed across the dunes like thunder. At first light, another 200 men vanished while standing in formation. No sound, no footprints left behind. Their water skins dried instantly. What poured out was only fine sand. Thirst became their new tormentor. The remaining men formed a tight circle for protection. The desert simply took them from the edges inward. Ghostly sounds of their own army's battle cries echoed from the dunes, luring more men to their doom. From thousands, only 100 remained. The once mighty army was now a ragged band of ghosts. Even the prophet disappeared in front of their eyes. His final words lingered in the air like smoke. Starvation bred dark thoughts. Some began whispering about eating the fallen. Horror had consumed their souls. The ground opened without warning. 10 men were swallowed alive into bottomless pits of sand. Only one torch remained. Its flame flickered weakly as if the darkness itself was blowing it out. 40 men. That was all that remained of the proud army that entered the desert. The last survivors turned on one another in rage and fear. Blood stained the sand once more. The wind carried the voices of vanished comrades calling their names, begging them to join. Only 20 remained. They no longer spoke. Words had lost all meaning. The sun bled red across the dunes as if the desert itself was drinking their blood. 10 men. The desert had reduced a mighty army to 10 walking corpses. They made one last camp. By morning, only 5 would remain. 5 broken souls. The desert toyed with them now. 3 men. General Eliab, a young soldier, and the scribe. The young soldier took one step and was erased. Only General Eliab and the scribe remained. A wall of sand rose from nowhere, howling with the voices of the lost. General Eliab stood alone on the last dune. Only the scribe remained. He watched the last banner disappear into the sand. With shaking hands, he began to write the warning no one would ever read. He tried to walk out. His own footsteps began to vanish behind him as he walked. No wind, no sound. Only the scribe's ragged breathing remained. The tablet cracked in his hands as the desert claimed even his final words. His breathing grew shallow. The desert drew closer. He took one final step. The sand waited patiently. The scribe took one last breath and became part of the desert forever. Only silence remained. The desert had consumed an entire army and left its eternal warning. Only one torch remained. Its flame flickered weakly as if the darkness itself was blowing it out. Would you have heeded the silence or marched with the army? Type Amen if this mystery shook your soul.